Hey, it's the Cascade Trekker here. Another adventure. And I'm going to start off the adventure, start the film with an excursion up the approach road for some skiing events the next 2 days. I've set up a base camp back there. Roads are pretty rough from some recent rain. My water supply is right there. That's Blue Creek. And if you can see, there's some snowy slopes up there. That I'll be skiing on. Look at that, amazing. And it's not that far. This is like maybe 1.5 miles away. And I've already seen a small group of deer. And my guess is any minute now the road will be snow covered. I thought of setting a camp farther back, but I really like that open space. And here it's patchy with snow and it'll be cold at night. This might be my route tomorrow because the left fork goes up along the ridge line. And this all has been thinned by the Forest Service to reduce forest fires, and that's why it's like so open and clear. If all of the original trees were still here, this would be snow covered. And there's a gate. We might follow it tomorrow. Hard to say, because the slopes that I want are in that direction. I was hoping to find a snowmobile trail, like one that was used by everyone to follow and ski on tomorrow, but I doubt I will. some ruts here. Watch out. Okay, this is going to be my approach tomorrow, because there's some really nice snow fields really close up there. Straight ahead are the Teton Mountains, the border of Wyoming over there. Still a little slippery out here. I'm going to park the motorcycle close to my tent. There it is. And I'll lock up to this tree right here. Whew. Wow, that was a blast. I haven't opened that bike up yet like that on a forest road. I'd really like to get into some intermediate trail riding. The thing is, when I'm riding it like that, it doesn't feel big. It doesn't feel as big as it is. And I forgot about all of this cargo stuff on the back. The boots, the ski boots, my panniers. Yeah. So that was the introduction to this Cascade Trekker adventure. May 11th, 2024. And I'm exactly 90 miles away from Idaho Falls, almost directly north. And just in this direction is a range of mountains called the Centennial Mountains, and the Continental Divide is there, running east and west. Maybe the only place that it does go east and west instead of north and south. And just on the other side of that range is the state of Montana. This is the closest that I've ventured into or near to grizzly bear territory. And I'm about maybe 30 or 40 miles from West Yellowstone National Park in Montana, this way. And the story is that is where the most population of grizzly bears are. Was that a good sentence? Anyway, yeah, it's been a long process and a slow process to get me closer to this place. And it's a very slight chance, but maybe a good slight chance that there could be a grizzly bear wandering in this area from this park. I've heard stories that lone bears, travel great distances. That's about all I have to say about that. On a good related note, I've supplied myself with some bear pepper spray. This is the carrying pouch, the belt carrying pouch, and I got 2 of these for $50 delivered, which usually they're $40 in Walmart. So I felt it a wise investment. So I'm just kind of making a mental note of where this is at all times. Along with that, I have this air horn from last year, which has not been used, except accidentally while bending over. I think it was in my pocket. It squeaked a couple times. I find myself very fortunate to find this great place to pitch the tent. The duff is like a half an inch thick back here, and still, just if you stick your fingers down in, it's the test to see if it's damp. Yeah, it's damp, but I've got a nice barrier here. Uh, Fortunate, yes, because all along the highway and the road coming towards this place, it was just full of snow. And whether you heard it or not on the ride, this has been cleared by the Forest Service. There's like a corridor oddly along this creek draw over here, which they've thinned. I don't know why. Maybe because of the road access. It makes sense to retard the spread of a serious forest fire. And by a map, which is on a billboard down here, it shows that there's another kind of corridor going up that closed road, which will make an easy route to follow. This is great. I'm so excited. These snowfields are just amazing. I could see them as I was driving closer, and the first time I saw it, I said, "Oh man, that's got to be where I'm going." And yeah, just up here, I'll show you tomorrow. It's going to be like the gold mine nirvana for my skiing these next 2 days. I've got 3 nights and 2 full days to wander. Rhea Peak, RHEA, is close. There's some further 10,000 foot peaks, which I won't get to. And I think that one is 4 or 5. It's above 8,000 feet. And again, as I mentioned on the ride, the Teton mountain range is within view in this direction, and we'll get some great scenes tomorrow. This time I brought a lighter tent. This is the Sierra Designs flashlight. I don't know. I could have brought the, 4-season night watch. What what is interesting is that on the last trip, and I did it here on with this rainfly, but on the last trip I was in the tent and I was kind of like looking through the rainfly and I could see all these cracks where the sunlight was coming through. And I said to myself, man, this is not waterproof, this rainfly. What I did was I went out and bought a can of Scotch Guard, and I sprayed the whole rainfly with like 1 can I used on the whole rainfly and even some of the edges. And I left it out in the rain just to test it, and it worked great. So that one is waterproofed. I get here and I look through the rainfly on this one, and I see some sunlight through some cracks. I'm not so concerned about that because it's not going to be a drenching rain if it happens. All right, so this tent is the flashlight, and it's probably a couple pounds lighter. It might be 5 pounds. I just didn't want to burden myself with a heavy pack. Anyway, that's that. Not much else different from last time.
One thing different is I've got a lighter Gore-Tex pant layer instead of the tiger design, the tiger stripe design, I think it's called, on the Air Force Gore-Tex. I left those pants at home and brought these black ones here, these lighter ones. And man, it really got cold on the ride here after coming out of the Snake River basin, the valley. It's not a basin, but it's like this volcanic basin, I would say. And up into the forest, it was all snow along the side of the road, and it got cold. I have 2 more layers I could put on, long john pants and a lightweight pullover hoodie, which I most likely will wear going home. Not much else on this CT adventure. So I'm just going to settle in and camp. Yeah, this is where it was last night. And it got kind of chilly, right? I had my long john pants and my Gore-Tex pants in the sleeping bag, and it was a nice combination, but the cold was creeping in a little bit from the top. And the temperature check this morning was 40 degrees in the tent, and just a slow start, wanting to get out of that sleeping bag and make coffee. I placed the tent kind of in these trees so that it didn't get direct sunlight during the day. And this was definitely a sunblock this morning. And so I'm preparing now for my skiing jaunt for the day. I guess it's necessary for me to carry the food because I don't want any bears coming around, getting into it and ripping up the tent. I suppose it would have been nice to have the bear can so that I wouldn't have to carry the food, but that's the way it is. Oh, and there was kind of a foretelling late afternoon that there would be an owl out here, and sure enough. And this one didn't have a cadence hoot. It was just a repetitive hoo, 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 hoo. And he was around for quite a while, and then just kind of pushed off in that direction, hooting. Starting out, and a few minutes ago, a female elk came through here, and I've got the bear spray. It's nice and handy. I thought it was a bear actually when I first saw it over here. Here's my cutoff, and it does look like the snowmobiles have been previously using this, which is a good thing, higher up where the snow is solid and continuous. I'm gonna get some water not too far along on the road, and totally used by snowmobiles. Hard enough to walk on, which is great. I'm just waiting for it to be continuous snow. This is just fine for now. And this continued thinning all in here. Would have been some nice camping up here, I'm sure. Plenty of nice places. I'm climbing up here, and it looks now the
The snow is continuous now. We'll be putting the skis on. Well, I've had about a quarter mile of nice snow to ski on here. And this road switches in this canyon. Heads right back towards the creek. And it just seems like the approach is getting long. I've probably, trekked about an extra half mile. Not really needed. It's okay. I do need it, this exercise. I got a feeling the road ends right here somewhere. I don't see a wide swath through the trees. And generally you can sort of see impressions of these snow machines that have been through here. In this direction, I can see it continues in a somewhat flat semblance. Just barely through this way I can see some of the upper ridges. The last thing I want is to be lost out here. There is this faint ski path that I've laid down on the hard packed surfaces in the sun. It'll melt really fast. And I haven't ventured off of the snowmobile tracks, so I don't know how solid that snow is back there. Yeah, I don't know. Guess I'm gonna go this way, but I'm drawn to go this way. Yeah, I still have the road. It was just a confusing turn. Still have it, and now I see the upper slopes back there. Access real close over here through this gully along that ridge. This one, I see the lower open slope in the direction that this road takes. Still a ways away. It was deceiving down there on the road, but that's okay. It's been some nice skiing on the road on this packed snow, and I'm at probably, maybe 4 miles from camp. I'm going to take advantage of this stump right here for a break. And here the road drops down into this draw. Again, I have a feeling it just might end. Can't go forever. And the upper slope back there, this is steep. There's a draw back that way, which might be where these snowmobiles go. We'll keep going. Here's a great way to rest on your skis. Just find a log with a suspended with some space below. Okay, yeah, the road ends right in here, and it's kind of a mini clear cut where they logged out the last bit of trees they could get up to the slope top there. I think I'm gonna go to the top of this and follow it for a ways. And it's always the safest thing to do is to follow a road on the snow with your skis. You can't get lost, but now I'm breaking away from it, You know, and this is terrain I'm not familiar with, so I'll need this road to safely get out. Yeah, I'm up on this ridge, and I found a track, like an ATV track through here, right through this way, just on the very top. Probably not so easy to follow if it's covered with snow. There's the draw that the road ends at down there. And I was hoping to get a long distance view, mostly of the Teton Mountains, but I'm not going to get it, I don't think. I'm going a little further, but it's starting to wear me out, and it's getting a little iffy back here as far as finding your way back. Okay, I'm getting up now to have a view over Island Park and whatever body of water that is down there. I'll have to get the good camera out here in a minute. Over this way are the open slopes. And you can see some of these gullies are somewhat nasty and almost impossible to traverse through. And this seems to be a route the snowmobiles take up this ridge top here. We'll go further and hope to get some better long distance views. Yeah, pretty cool up here. A little bumpy, icy, and you can see, well, I can, the snowmobiles go up that slope, and you can see where they've been digging into the dirt to get back there to these open snowfields, and can't be all that much further, but I have no desire to climb any steep slopes like that, especially this late in the trek. Yeah, so I'm gonna just look for a place to have a break and turn around. Here's what things look like with the good camera. Yeah, I'm gonna take a walk up this slope just a little bit because it's clear and I might get a good shot down into that water body down there, Island Park area. That's what I was talking about here. Here, I'm just at the top of this steep slope, and the ridge just continues like it was down below. It's a long approach to these snowfields, you know, maybe another 2 or 3 miles, maybe even. But I got my view. I got up here. This is great. It's nice to get off of the skis and walk around a little bit. A huge difference in like how the body has to
move itself. I'm getting like some discomfort in the stretch areas, right in here. The thick tendons that are in there, and this, yeah, still much of the same, but it's gonna open up soon enough. But not for me today. Let's show you the view. Okay, we'll zoom in on the Tetons over there. It's a bit washed out. Good for my eyes right here. And I guess that's what I wanted. I really wanted to see from the top on the snow and over the crest. Not happening. And we're gonna head back now. Well, it's the next day after the ski day, which man, that was pretty hard on this old guy. Roughly 10 miles, give or take. And I got back here and was just moving slowly, painfully, like the mummy. And just relaxed, had a nice dinner, slept well. It's Sunday. I'm thinking of heading out. What would have made this a more perfect trip, a better adventure, would have been to pack my camp in as far as I could, almost to the base of the open slopes, and then had this day, adventure day up there, come back to camp, spend the night, and then bring it back down. Those are adventures that you need to take in a place that you're familiar with. And yes, now I know that I could have done that, but beginning the trip, no, I didn't know that. This is a nice place. It's the snowmobile tracks were what made the long ski trip in possible. That snow was getting soft, and it just would have been just a rough go without it. I'm thinking that those upper high slopes, that snow is pretty solid by now, but who knows? With the climate changing, things are probably different with the lingering snowpack consistency compared to 15 or so years ago, when I used to break out and venture in onto these snowfields with little trouble of sinking in the snow and making it just a what's the right word? Slog? Is that the right word? A trudge? Yeah. Anyway, great exercise. I felt great this morning. Like every muscle in my body was worked, and I guess I have to call that the great thing about this trip.